What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, the stimulus package update, daily news, pretty much everything going on here in our country, as well as money, investing, the stock market. We also have some really big news on Social Security increases or Social Security raises. We have two major bills that were just announced or just introduced in Congress to raise Social Security benefits. This is in addition to the COLA or the cost of living adjustments that were just announced at 5.9%. That were just announced that is going to be going in effect. This is in addition to that. These are major announcements. These were bills that were just announced. These are not passed yet, but these are things that the Democrats want to do and can do in the future through the reconciliation process with one of the upcoming stimulus packages. So I'm going to be reading you guys what they just introduced, what could be coming for future Social Security increases, as well as some big changes with the current stimulus package, the American Families Plan, as things are literally changing by the hour with that, as they're trying to come to a final agreement with the negotiations on that. So yeah, we got a lot going on here. Also, my cat Lily here is here with us, as you can see on this little bench here down below. So yeah, we will see if she stays with us for the whole episode here. So yeah, if you find these videos helpful, don't forget to hit the like button for us, and don't forget to subscribe down below if you haven't yet, so you don't miss out on new videos. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will keep you up to date with everything going on in our country and with stimulus packages, Social Security upgrades or raises in the future. There's a lot going on here in our country. So let's jump right in. Okay, this is as of yesterday. Congress has a new plan to fix Social Security, how it would change benefits and raise benefits. So, a new House Democratic proposal to reform Social Security is being reintroduced into Congress, and they just introduced or reintroduced a new bill yesterday. Here is the details, and then there's another bill that we're going to get to here in a moment as well, and new changes to the stimulus package. Get to that here in a moment as well, also. House Democrats are reintroducing a Social Security reform bill popular with their party. This time, it features some changes aimed at attracting more support from Republicans. Although now that the Democrats have control of the House and the Senate and the presidency, they can actually pass Social Security increases through the reconciliation process through one of the upcoming stimulus packages. Maybe the next stimulus package. They're not currently in this stimulus package that they're trying to pass this week, but in one of the upcoming stimulus packages, President Biden has confirmed there will be another stimulus package after this. The Democrats can now, because they're in control of the House, the Senate, and the presidency, could pass Social Security increases without a single Republican support, and could be in one of their, or probably is actually a very good chance that they're going to try to raise Social Security benefits. President Biden actually campaigned on this, and could be one of the things they try to do before the next midterm elections when the House and Senate go up for re-election. So don't be surprised if we don't see this in one of the next stimulus packages to raise Social Security benefits for over 60 million seniors as the Democrats try to keep control of the House and Senate. Here's the first bill that they just reintroduced in the Senate. And again, the Democrats can now pass this on their own with one of the upcoming stimulus packages now that they control the House and the Senate, and they can do this without any Republican votes here in the future. The bill, known as the Social Security 2100 Act, is being brought forward by Representative John Larson, a Democrat from Connecticut, chairman of the House Ways and Means Subcommittee on Social Security. Representative AOC Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Democrat from New York, and House and Ways Means Committee Chairman Richard Neal, Democrat from Massachusetts, appeared with Larson on Tuesday to announce the reintroduction of the bill. And again, now that the Democrats have control of the House and Senate, they can pass this bill on their own without any Republican votes at all. Neal introduced lawmakers to offset the concentration of wealth, which has become more prevalent in the US, by embracing this Social Security proposal and extending the expanded child tax credit. Those are those monthly checks of $250 to $300 per month going out to 65 million children. Remember, they want to extend those monthly checks called the child tax credits to 65 million children in the next stimulus package that they're trying to pass this week, or trying to have at least an agreement on and maybe start the voting process on this week. They're very, very close, but they have a couple things they're working on. We'll get to that here in a moment here. They want to extend those monthly stimulus checks, those monthly child tax credit checks to 65 million children for one more year in this next stimulus package. But if they can't pass this next stimulus package, those monthly checks will stop on December 15th, will be the last payment to 65 million children. That will be the last monthly check. So there's a lot at stake just regarding that one matter of this next stimulus package. Quote, we have this rare moment to accomplish seismic achievements, and this is the time to do it. The new version of this bill, called Social Security 2100, a sacred trust, follows the Social Security Administration's latest estimates that the trust funds that support the program will be depleted in just 13 years. At that time, in 2034, which seems like forever from now, only 78% of promised benefits will be payable. The bill proposes extending that date to 2038 to give Congress more time to come up with a long term solution to the program's solvency issues. The measure would also incorporate proposals made by President Biden during his presidential campaign. Quote, we have a person on Pennsylvania Avenue who knows and understands that Social Security is a sacred trust, Larson said of Biden. This new bill combines Biden's proposals with House Ways and Means initiatives to expand and enhance Social Security benefits, he said. Quote, it's got a lot that's attractive and nothing that I think should cause Democrats problems in an election year, which would be next year, says Nancy Altman, president of the Social Security Works, an advocacy group that promotes expanding benefits. Like Biden said, the Social Security 2100 Act would set a higher minimum benefit for low income workers. Benefits that would set at least 125% above the poverty line and tied to current wage levels. As you can see here, the current poverty level is $12,880 for a single person, $12,880 for the year. You divide that by 12, comes to $1,073 per month. They want to make that 125%, which would be a minimum benefit for Social Security of $1,341 per month. That is what they want to make, and that's what President Biden campaigned on. One of the Social Security changes he wants to make would be a minimum Social Security benefit of $1,341 per month. So yeah, as you can see here, benefits would be set at 125% above the poverty line and tied to current wage levels. So again, that's $1,341 per month would be the minimum amount of Social Security, and tied to current wage levels would mean they would go up every year with inflation, the cost of living adjustment, the annual cost of living adjustment per year. There's also a benefit boost for both new and existing beneficiaries amounting to about 2% of the average benefit. Annual cost of living adjustments would be tied to the Consumer Price Index for the elderly, or CPIE, which actually better tracks inflation for the elderly. The argument is that this experimental index may better reflect the costs seniors faced. Biden also included this change in his Social Security proposals. Notably, the Social Security 2100 Act proposed in 2019 had more than 200 co sponsors, though all were Democrats. But again, the big change now is the Democrats control the House and the Senate and can pass this bill completely on their own. On Tuesdays, lawmakers indicated that the new version of this bill has already drawn a similar level of support. Quote, to have that social safety net isn't just good for us individually for peace of mind. It helps us feel like we are part of a society that respects our elders and values our vulnerable, said Representative AOC Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, Democratic Congresswoman from New York. The plan also integrates a couple of elements that might help draw support from across the aisle from Republicans. The new version would repeal rules that would reduce Social Security benefits from public workers and their spouses, widows or widowers, who have also have pension income. These are known as the windfall elimination provision and government pension offset. This issue came up at a recent House hearing on Social Security and has bipartisan support. The elimination of one proposal, a higher payroll tax rate, may also help draw support. The Social Security 2100 Act had previously called for gradually increasing contributions to the program from workers and employers to 7.4%, up from the current rate of 6.2% over roughly 20 years. However, the legislation does call for increasing Social Security taxes paid from high wage earners. In 2021, those taxes are capped at $142,800, and in 2022 will rise to $147,000. This proposal would reapply taxes on those earning $400,000 and up, which is also in line with those that Biden has proposed. There's also another similar proposal by Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Elizabeth Warren, and Ron Wyden that have unveiled a plan to increase Social Security benefits by $200 per month for all Social Security beneficiaries. And they say that they can pay for this plan as well by doing something very similar, which is applying a Social Security tax to people that make over $400,000. So by applying a Social Security tax to people that make over $400,000, they can basically pay for a lot of Social Security raises. At the same time, this bill would also raise the thresholds above which income, including Social Security, is taxed. This plan calls for changing that to $35,000 for income for individuals and $50,000 for couples, up from $25,000 and $32,000 respectively. So it would basically include a huge tax break for low income individuals and Social Security recipients. So it would include a huge tax break, a Social Security raise, and a lot of really good provisions here. There was another Social Security bill that was reintroduced as well yesterday. U.S. Senator Schatz reintroduced a bill to expand Social Security benefits as well. Brian Schatz reintroduced the Safe Social Security Act that would increase benefits by an average of $115 per month and take steps to ensure the solvency of the program for decades. So yeah, $115 per month and would take steps to ensure the solvency program for decades. Now, this might sound like less, but any one of these programs that we could get would really be awesome because again, whether it's $115, $200, any one of these that we can get for seniors would be a blessing in disguise or just a blessing altogether because we really want to get these type of things passed for seniors. Of course, the more money the better, but getting any one of these passed would be a blessing for over 60 million seniors. So let's get these out there and let's get these passed. Let's get support for these. Today, U.S. Senator Brian Schatz, a Democrat from Hawaii, reintroduced the Safeguarding American Families and Expanding Social Security Safe Social Security Act that would expand Social Security for seniors and families in Hawaii and across the country. This bill would increase benefits by an average of $115 plus per month, ensuring the cost of living adjustments adequately reflect the living expenses of retirees and extend the life of the trust fund, remove the wage cap to make sure all Americans contribute equally, and provide additional benefits to older seniors, caregivers, and low income Americans. Quote, in Hawaii, More than 280,000 people depend on Social Security, the most successful safety net program in American history. My bill will expand Social Security and put more money in the hands of seniors who rely on it, and strengthen the program for the next generation of retirees, and make sure that everyone pays into the system equally after a lifetime of hard work. Seniors deserve to retire with dignity and the benefits that they have earned. This act would phase out the payroll tax cap so payroll taxes apply fairly to every dollar of wages earned, adjust current benefit calculations to increase average monthly benefits by more than $100, provide an additional 5% increase in benefits for older seniors to ensure they can make ends meet as their retirement savings are exhausted, guarantee a new minimum benefit so lower income seniors receive enough to survive, provide a credit for caregivers that would be added to an individual's earnings to calculate their future Social Security benefits, ensure any increase in benefits under this increase would not harm an individual's eligibility or cause a reduction in SSI, Medicaid, or CHIP benefits, long overdue. Eliminate and probably SNAP benefits as well, right? That's been long overdue as well. Eliminate the waiting period for disability insurance and surviving spouse benefits, and include an increase of a 5.7% in net investment income tax, the NIT tax, to extend the solvency of the trust fund to 2050, and update the annual cost of living adjustment to better reflect the real cost seniors face through the use of consumer price index for the elderly. A lot of details there. And the good news here is that two major bills introduced just yesterday to increase Social Security benefits on multiple different levels here. So, really, really good news here. They're doing a push here at the very same time. Now, these are not in the bill that they're trying to pass it this week because, well, they're trying to pass it this week. But I have a strong feeling that this is going to be probably in the next bill. They're going to try to pass this here before the next midterm elections. So I will keep you up to date on this. And this is something that President Biden campaigned on. And I have a feeling that the Democrats are really going to try to make a really strong push for this. And remember that now that the Democrats are in control of the House and the Senate, they can pass this through the reconciliation process without a single Republican vote through the next stimulus package if they want to do this. So I will keep you up to date on this on the channel, and I would not be surprised if they don't pass something like this here in the future. And remember, there's multiple different Social Security proposals. $115 a month raise, $200 a month raise, $1,341 minimum raise, or would be a minimum amount of Social Security. So I will keep you up to date on all of these here on the channel going forward, and they can do this through one of the upcoming stimulus packages through the reconciliation process. Okay, on the stimulus package, there's a lot of new details here going on here. I'll be going about more details here in the next upcoming videos, but let me just kind of give you some of the details here right now. The social infrastructure bill has been gutted, and progressives may not let it pass. A lot of progressive Democrats are not very happy with the amount that has been taken out of the social infrastructure bill, aka the stimulus package. And progressives like Bernie Sanders and the Progressive Caucus are starting to say, we may not let it pass. And they're really starting to think that Joe Manchin has gutted the bill too much. And they're really starting to rethink the stimulus package now. So just it might delay the bill, but they're also trying to renegotiate here, and it might be for the better. And if you've been following along, we all kind of know that Senator Joe Manchin is basically the Grinch of of the stimulus package. Stimulus checks for adults, really stimulus checks for the children, the child tax credits, and we really could see, and the Medicare expansion for seniors. And we really could see the progressive Democrats, the Progressive Caucus from the House, AOC, Pramila Jayapal, and Senator Bernie Sanders now start to fight back a little bit and really see how far they can push, see what they can get and battle back with here and see how far they can push the negotiations and see maybe what they can come up with. Can they come up with a stimulus check for adults? Can they come up with that $800 stimulus debit card for seniors? Can they draw a stimulus check out of that? Can they draw that up higher? Can they draw the child tax credits? Can they get something more out of that? The Medicare expansion, hearing, dental, and vision. Joe Manchin's against that because he claims the solvency issue. The Medicare said, there's the Medicare solvency issue that might be coming up in 2026. But Bernie Sanders says, well, that shouldn't be an issue because we're basically giving Medicare billions and billions of dollars. So we're going to have a little bit of a battle here. So in all fairness, if you think the stimulus package has been trimmed down too much, if you think that, this is probably a good thing because now the progressives are kind of saying, well, we kind of, if you're a progressive or if you're thinking like a progressive and you're thinking that, well, we're kind of rethinking our position here now that basically Joe Manchin has just gotten everything he wanted. And all the progressives are like, wait a minute here. We have 96 progressives in the House alone. Why are we letting one guy determine what he wants? I mean, I know we need his vote or we can't pass it without his vote, but we also have 96 of us over here in the House that are progressives. So it's a give and take, right? It's a give and take. So now this could delay it. I mean, you either do one of two things. You either say, well, we're either going to just go along with Joe Manchin, give him everything he wants, and we could vote on it tomorrow. Or we're going to push back a little bit and say, no, we want to negotiate. We want to do this, and this, and see how far we can push the envelope here. And that could take us a couple days, several days, right? Or we just give it to Joe Manchin and vote on it tomorrow. What do you do? Well, we're going to see. And that's what they're fighting with the Medicare provisions, the hearing, dental, and vision for seniors. Senator Bernie Sanders says, nope, that has to be included. The dental one's a little iffy because it's the most expensive one. The prescription drug pricing, lowering prescription drugs for millions and millions of Americans, over 100 million Americans are on prescription drugs, and lowering the cost for that would basically be a mini stimulus provision. Having them pay less every single month would basically be money in their pocket every month, and that would help them out every single month. Another thing on the docket right here is actually kind of a good thing. Senator Manchin fighting back on the IRS reporting, the IRS basically looking into people's bank accounts. IRS reporting requirements likely going to be gone from the stimulus bill, as Joe Manchin is fighting back against that. This might be one time where Joe Manchin actually may come to the people's rescue, but this will kind of take money out of the pay for side of the stimulus package. So they'll have to find other ways to pay for it, which, in all fairness, the Democrats have a lot of different ways to pay for this package. What they'll end up being using as the tax hikes and the pay fors, well, they'll have to decide on that. But this one may actually be gone. They may actually get rid of this. As Joe Manchin says, quote, "This is screwed up. The proposed IRS bank account reporting rule is revised." But Senator Joe Manchin still doesn't like it, as they've gone from where they could basically look into people's bank accounts on a day-to-day basis with these transactions that they originally wanted to do on bank accounts that had transactions at as low as $600, with accounts that had $600 in them. And they now changed it to $10,000. But a lot of people were doing the math saying, well, almost everybody makes $10,000 a year. And they're trying to say, well, no, it won't be for what you earn. It'll be for what you spend. And then people quickly realized, well, if you earn 10,000, you spend 10,000. And then people were quickly realizing, well, that's still basically everybody. So almost everybody earns $10,000 a year. That's pretty much everybody. And they're like, oh, but it's not going to be for your income. We won't count your income. It'll be just for your spending. And everybody's like, well, if we earn 10,000, we also spend the 10,000 even just on rent and food. So that's still everybody. So yeah, so the IRS reporting provision might be out. They're negotiating hard on the Medicare provisions. Things are just changing here by the moments here. And the question is what is going to be in this bill when they come down to the final agreement? And the progressives are kind of fighting back now, saying, well, we want more in this package. And will they get a stimulus check in there for adults in addition to the monthly stimulus checks for children? Remember, the 65 million children are expected to get those monthly checks, the $250 to $300 per month, extended for 1 year. Remember, Joe Manchin wants income requirements on there and $60,000 thresholds for two people and all sorts of requirements. I think they've squashed that, but remember, we don't even know if we're going to get his vote on that. So there's still a lot of contention with Joe Manchin, and now they're fighting back against Joe. So it's kind of like there's a horde of 96 Democrats from the House coming against Joe, and there's just Joe Manchin on his sole island saying, "Picture Joe Manchin fighting back by himself." He's like, "I got you guys," and they're like, "Joe, there's 96 of them over there. How you gonna fight back against 96 of them?" And he's like, "I can do it. I'm Joe Manchin here. I'm stronger than the president." And it's like, really? And he thinks so. So we're gonna find out here. I don't know. Who do you put your money on? The Bernie Sanders or Joe Manchin in a heads up battle? But we're gonna find out. But Bernie Sanders has another 96 Democrats just from the House behind him. But Joe Manchin to this point has really held his ground, man. He's given a little bit. He's given a little bit on the top line price number, and it seemed like we were really close to a deal. But he's not budging on these Medicare provisions and the prescription drug pricing. We're going to have to see as well. So, but honestly, really good news on these Social Security provisions. And I think that they're going to. I think they're going to really have a lot of movement on this going forward. I think there's a lot of support amongst the Democrats for this. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Democrats just don't pass this on their own. I could see them trying to get support from the Republicans, as they already mentioned. They're already trying to put some things in there from Republicans. Whether Mitch McConnell would go for it or not, I don't know. Do you think Mitch McConnell would try to raise benefits for seniors? You could let me know your thoughts in the comments. But the Democrats can just pass that on their own in the next stimulus package. So yeah, I'll keep you up to date. Make sure to subscribe down below. Share this video with your friends and family. If you have anybody else that's on Social Security, definitely want to share this video with them so that they can subscribe to the channel. And I will keep you up to date on this as we learn more about these Social Security proposals. So you can click here to watch my newest stimulus check video next, and I'll keep you up to date on everything else as well. And this video is how there's 20 different states that have stimulus checks and stimulus programs going out as well. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.